The poetry of Thomas Stearns Eliot, who was born in St. Louis, Missouri in 1888. And just a few lines of his poem, The Wasteland, for whom that entire decade is named. April is the cruelest month, breeding lilacs out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with a spring rain. And we suggested how, given when the poem was written, that it would seem that after the war, after that darkness, that the seeming April of the 1920s might seem very cruel, because it might seem to be a false promise. We spent most of our time, of course, on the poem which begins, let us go then, well, after the Italian, begins, let us go then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky, that romantic image, like a patient etherized upon a table. Let us go through certain half-deserted streets, the muttering retreats of restless nights in one-night cheap hotels and sawdust restaurants with oyster shells. The poem telling of Prufrock's desire to talk to one of the young women at this party in the house surrounded by the fog, the yellow smoke that rubs its muzzle on the window panes, licked its tongue into the corners of the evening, lingered upon the pools that stand in drains, let fall upon its back the soot that falls from chimneys, slipped by the terrace, made a sudden leap, and seeing that it was a soft October night, curled once about the house and fell asleep. And indeed there will be time for the yellow smoke that slides along the street. He wants to talk to one of those young women in the room. The women come and go, talking of Michelangelo, but he can't dare. Does he dare disturb the universe, he asked. For I've known them all already, known them all, have known the evenings, mornings, afternoons. I've measured out my life in coffee spoons. And that is indeed how he has lived his cautious life. But he still wants to talk to one of them. I've known the arms already. He gets hung up on arms. Known them all. Arms that are braceleted and white and bare. But in the lamplight, down, light brown hair? Is it perfume from a dress, he wonders, that makes me so digress? Well, what can he say to them? He imagines that he should have been a pair of ragged claws scuttling across the floors of ancient seas. He thinks about the bald spot in the middle of his hair and how his arms and legs are growing thin. And then his final reverie, he imagines himself in white flannel trousers walking on the beach. And he says, I've heard the mermaids singing each to each. I do not think that they will sing to me. I have seen them riding seaward on the waves, combing the white hair of the waves blown back when the wind blows the water white and black. And the last stanza of the poem, we have lingered in the chambers of the sea by sea-girls wreathed with seaweed red and brown, till human voices wake us drown, as though we're called back from the reverie by these human voices, and we're drowned by them. Remember, the Italian beginning of the poem is the voice speaking in hell, the voice saying, if I thought that you could return to the world, I shouldn't be able to speak, but since I know that there is no way back, I may speak to you. Since we're all in the position, he assumes, of J. Alfred Prufrock, all